One of the challenges of working in the browser, the universal client, is working with three different languages. As you can see here, we have HTML, which is used for layout. We have CSS, which is used for styles. And then we have JavaScript, which is used for the logic. But let's take a look at what this means by writing a simple example. As you can see here, I have an editor and a browser side by side. We're going to start off by creating a new file, and then we're going to save it to a directory called sample, and I'm going to call it hello.html. And inside of it, we're going to write hello world. Now we're going to go ahead and drag and drop that file onto the browser. You can see here that I am inside of sample, and that is the directory that I'm holding this in. And when I drag that in, you can see there that we see hello world. Now we're using no syntax whatsoever. We're not using HTML. We're not using CSS. We're styling. We're not using any logic. So the browser simply renders the text because there's no additional information, no additional instructions. So in this case, what I'm going to do, or what I'm going to do next, is I'm going to add a tag. And this is part of HTML. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the hello world inside of the h1 tags. And I'm going to save the file. Then I'm going to reload the page. And as you can see there, that has changed. This is a header tag. And so the browser recognized it. This was communicated in HTML. And so it changed the rendering of this text string to match that instruction. Now let's say we wanted to style the header 1, h1, with a style that was not the default, the one we just used. You would do that using a style in CSS. And so we indicate that by creating a style tag, and inside of that we write the tag that we're going to style, in this case the h1 tag, and inside of it we're going to style the font size. In this case, I'm going to make it 5 times the normal size, so I want it to be nice and big. And then the color that I'm going to use is green. Nice, nice visible color. So now I'm going to go ahead and save the file, reload the page, and as you can see there, the style has changed. And any other header tags that I have in the file, the same style would be applied to it. So if I said here, good night, and let's get rid of this one. I'm going to go ahead and save. And as you can see there, we have the same styling. Now let's take a look at how you would add some logic, some computation. There's a number of ways you could do this, but in this case, I wanted to illustrate using a script. And so I'm going to go ahead and enter a script tag, just like before we entered a tag to express styles. And initially we did one for layout. In this case, I'm indicating that this is going to be a script. And I'm going to create a variable, and I'm going to assign to it the result of doing 3 plus 3. I'm then going to write to the console. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a moment. And I'm going to write the result. So as you can see here, we have 3 things on the page. We have a style. We have a header 1, hello world, that is appearing on the page and being styled. And now we're going to write something separate that is just a few instructions that we want to carry out, and the result of them are going to be written to the console. So let's go ahead and open up our developer tools, as you can see here, and when I reload the page, we see the 6 that we expected to see, just making it bigger so it's visible. So here we have the 3 pieces that I mentioned. We have the HTML, we have the CSS, the styles, and we have JavaScript, the computation that runs behind the scenes, and that could be updating styles, could be updating the layout of the document, or it could be communicating with the server. It could be carrying out many other things.